Shama Shenatata Bihi Tehorai. God, the soul that you gave me is a pure soul. Today we're gathered here to send one of those souls on her way back to God. Rebecca Deloise, beloved friend, partner, mother, grandmother. She is survived by her husband Joe, her sons Jacob, Tony, and Nate, her grandchildren Asher and June, Jackson and Lucy, and her brother Dean. We gather to feel her loss, to celebrate her life, and to walk with her on this journey through time. Baruch Dayan Ha'emet, praised is the judge. It's a hard time to say those words, yet those are the words that Jewish tradition says we should say, as if to help us through this process. In the words of Ecclesiastes, a season is set for everything, a time for every experience under heaven, a time for dancing and a time for wailing, a time for birthing and a time for dying, a time for speaking and a time for silence, a time for seeking and a time for losing. Time for mourning is a complicated time. It's a time filled with many emotions. Grief has no one way to be expressed. Mourning and loss are individual to each of us. For some, it's tears. For some, it's smiles. And sometimes it's laughter. They're all just part of the process of remembering our loved one. One of the places that we turn in America, in Judaism, is to the book of Psalms when we need comfort. Specifically, at times like this, we turn to Psalm 23. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me to lie down in green pastures. Yea, though I walk through the valley of the shadow of darkness, I fear no evil, for you are with me. Mizmor leDavid, Adonai roi lo echsar, Binot desha yahar bitzeni, Almei menuchot yichaleni, Nafshi yoshvev, Nafshi yeshovev, Yancheni b'margalei tzedek, Yancheni b'margalei tzedek, Leman shemo, Gam ki elech, Begeit Samavet, Lo irara, Ki ata imadi, Shivtecha, Shivtecha mishantecha, Shivtecha mishantecha, Hema yanachumi. I've had the honor to get to know Rebecca a little bit in the past couple of days, both while I was visiting her and Joe and since her death. And there was one thing that I noticed when people talked about her, and it was that a smile came to their face. Temple Bethel members talked about what a driving force she was in this community. Her emphasis in our Yad L'Yad, our membership care committee, and how she brought the breadth and the depth to how we care for each other. Whether it's something simple like a smile, or a hospital visit, or providing food, driving when people can no longer drive. And the stories of how she participated and strengthened our community were really, really beautiful and amazing. Jo shared how she had a bat mitzvah in her 50s. What a concept, to grow up in a world where a bat mitzvah wasn't really a thing. And to say in your 50s, you know what? I deserve to have a bat mitzvah. And I deserve to have the party that goes with it. And to really celebrate who she was and what values she held. And to be up in the front of the room a little bit too, it sounds like. And I thought as I was reading this, and I looked at our award board near the entrance and saw that she was one of the Eleanor Murdoch Award winners in 2012. What I thought of is a poem, a song, a proverb that often is sung on Friday nights called Eshet Chayil, a women of valor. And Eshet Chayil, traditionally sung by the husband to his wife, it has a lot of baggage with it. But when you really dig into it, it is about the strength of women and the diversity of not only keeping a home, but being out in community and running businesses. And I want to just read a little piece of it because I think it really is about member care, Yad L'Yad. If you're familiar with it from Friday nights, it starts, Eshet Chayil mi'imsa. She opens her hand to the needy and extends her hand to the poor. She is clothed with strength and splendor. She looks to the future cheerfully. She opens her mouth with wisdom. Her tongue is guided by kindness. She oversees the activities of her household and never eats the bread of idleness. Her children come forward and bless her. Her husband praises her and says, many women have done superbly, but you surpassed them all. And I really felt like those traditional words were something special. There's an epitaph that I really love. When I die, give what's left of me to children. And if you need to cry, cry for your brother walking on the street beside you. When you need me, put your arm around anyone and give them what you need to give me. I want to leave you something better than words or sounds. Look for me in the people I've known or loved. And if you cannot give me away, at least let me live in your eyes and not in your mind. You can love me most by letting hands touch hands, bodies touch bodies, and letting go of children that need to be free. Love doesn't die, people do. So when all that's left of me is love, give me away. I'd like to invite her children up to say a few words. Nate?
Thank you, everybody, for being here today. I haven't seen a lot of you in a while, so I'm just taking it in. I'm Nate Deloise, Becky's oldest son. I'm here representing my two little brothers, Tony and Jake, Becky's husband, Joe, her daughters-in-law, Liz, Melissa, her grandchildren, Asher, Lucy, Jackson, June, who's not with us today. My mom lived much of her life in a house with 4 male humans. I am sure at times that must have made her feel like a superior being, attempting to live and communicate with sub-intelligent life forms from a distant planet. Sub-intelligent life forms that smell and swear and break things and generally can't take care of themselves. Only God knows what the four of us, Neanderthals, would have done without Mom taking care of us. And thanks to God, we never really had to find out. She didn't just feed us. She three-course gourmet meal fed us just about every single night, except on occasion when she would try to trick us into eating something new, like tofu burgers, and lie to us about the ingredients. Most of those nights ended with us eating extra dessert. Seriously, though, she did everything for us. She fed us, she bathed us, she did our laundry, woke us up, got us to school, off the bus, helped with homework. Even when I was grown, she would deliver soup when I was sick. And somehow she had time and energy and selflessness to work with others in between the demands of her children and her husband. She was really a giving person. Mom loved her friends, all of them. I never met anyone with so many friends and so much dedication to those friendships. If Mary Ellen got a perm, you know Mom was about to get one too. One day after I'd grown up and moved out, I went home to visit, and I found her sitting in the basement all by herself. I said, Mom, what in the world are you doing in the basement all by yourself? She said, well, Mary Ellen called and told me a storm was coming and I had to save myself. I think maybe it was drizzling outside. I don't know. David and Ann, she really loved being your friend. After your dinner parties, she would tell stories for months, usually about David saying or doing something very inappropriate. And she would laugh and laugh and laugh like it was the funniest thing that anyone had ever said or done in the history of the world. I think we will all remember her laugh. She loved to laugh. She had such a great laugh. Always loud, often uncontrollable, and sometimes, most of the time, she had a humor of a 5-year-old, which was either passed down from her father or the result of living with 4 human males for too long. When she worked in the library at the high school, when I was in high school, she thought the boys making fart sounds in the corner were just brilliant. But she could be serious. She was very smart and conscientious and cared about others, people she knew, people she didn't know, and she cared about so much in the world. Her relationships were very important to her. Her faith became very important to her during the second half of her life anyway. Community involvement was always important to her. She was beautiful and had that big smile. And she never saw a camera that she didn't like. Although looking at the pictures afterwards was a little different. I will remember her love. There was a sincere intensity to her love for her family, for her friends, for the people she met through the temple and through various organizations like Seeds of Peace and Center for Grieving Children. She truly cherished all her friendships and took them seriously. She loved her grandkids very, very much. Asher, Lucy, Jackson, and June. Her brothers, Dean and Michael, and their parents, Harry and Louise. But for me, it was her youthful exuberance that truly made her stand out. I will remember that honest, unbridled enthusiasm for life and how she gave all of herself with such ease and grace. And most of all, I remember her sense of humor and her laughter. I can hear her laughing now, loud and proud, and I love her and miss her. And I'll just add, too, that even in the last couple years that have been challenging, when we would visit, Lucy and Jackson would say to me, especially over the last year, even though they can't understand anything she's talking about, they know that she's very funny because she would always laugh and she always seemed to be happy. And you guys made her feel that way for sure. So thank you, everybody. You all meant a lot to her and to us.
Tony?
Thanks, Nate. I'm just going to say a few words on behalf of my Uncle Dean, Becky's oldest brother, who is in La Jolla right now, San Diego, live streaming in and was unable to make it. Just a few sweet words. Little sister, big brother, always. But there are memories together. Those memories. From the 11-year-old girl running across the Brown University campus during commencement ceremonies to the corner cowering Navy vet at Becky's sweet 16th birthday. From the shared love and pride of each element in that famous double play combination. Nate to Tony to Jake to our times together. Not just us. Times together, just us on a wild animal park safari and on a boat ride around San Diego Bay. And that laugh. Memories I have. Yesterday, I read somewhere that in the upcoming Jewish New Year, we need a brighter candle. Maybe. But I will always have those memories with and of Becky that will endure. That will endure as my brightest candle. Love you back, Dean.
The sweeping wind has blown its last. The tempest is no more. Now is a time for refuge and solace, for lodging in the wilderness. For those of us blessed with having witnessed the care that one human being can show another, we know that wilderness does not last forever. Pain and sorrow may challenge our faith, but the courage to persevere in the face of adversity is a miracle. As long as there is compassion in the human heart and the will to act on virtue, both human and divine, there is reason to believe. El Maleh Rachamim, exalted, compassionate God, grant infinite rest in your sheltering presence among the holy and pure. To the soul of Rivka bat Hillel Veliba, who has gone to her eternal home. Merciful One, we ask that our loved one find perfect peace in your eternal embrace. May her soul be bound in the bound of life. May she rest in peace. And let us say, Amen. El Maleh Rachamim, Shochen B'marim, Hamatzea Menucha Nechona, Tachat Kanfei HaShekhinah, V'malot Kiddushin V'torim, Kezohar Harakia Maschirim, Et Nishmat Rivka bat Hillel Veliba, Shehalcha La'olama, Began Eden Tehiyah Menuchata, Ana Bala Rachamim, Hastireha Beseter Knafecha, Leolamim, Utsur Bitsur HaChaim Et Nishmata, Adonai hu nachalata, v'tanuach b'shalom, amishkava, v'nomar amen. In a moment, the family will rise, and we will rise with them and give them a chance to escort Rebecca on the first part of her final journey. Jacob, Tony and Liz, Nate and Melissa, Asher, Jackson, and Lucy. We invite everyone to rejoin us at the Bethel Memorial Park, 1 Johnson Road. For those who are not able to come directly there, the family will be sitting Shiva this evening from 2 to 6 at 5 Reef Road, and again on Tuesday from 3 to 6. Shiva is a little strange because of Rosh Hashanah. It actually gets cut short, but having the ability to gather again next week was important to the family as well. Family can rise.